Everyone wants to have a ton of money because we want to lay on the beach and sip margaritas. That's the dream, right? A big house on a nice, warm, private beach where you can lay around all day and drink your favorite cocktail. But how long can you really actually do that before you get bored? A week, maybe? Possibly two? Once you get bored, what's beyond the beach? We'll talk about that and a lot more on this episode of The Quiet Ones.
I believe the biggest problem in the world is that people don't understand themselves enough. This show is designed to help you understand your INFJ personality, heal from your past, and create a life that you love. I'm Sarah Kuhn, and this is the Quiet Ones podcast.
My favorite beach is called Nantasket Beach. It's just south of Boston, Massachusetts, not far from where I live. It's the nicest beach that I've been to anywhere. The people are nice, it's clean and welcoming, though it's busy in the summertime, but that only lasts from Memorial Day to Labor Day, which, for those of you who aren't in the United States, is about the end of May until the beginning of September. After that, it's peaceful and serene. I grew up in the Midwest, where the only water available comes out of a faucet. So for me, this much water in one place feels like pure magic. I could sit there and watch the waves for days. I love the sound they make when they crash against the shore. Whether it's a nice and peaceful day or whether Mother Nature has a little bit of an attitude, it's the place where I can go where all of my troubles melt away. And there's nothing but peace. I can see why people want to live there, why it feels like the ultimate life goal. It's really amazing. I'm convinced the magic of the waves has some kind of healing powers, even if it's just healing for my mind. I want to be there too, all the time. When we think about our purpose in life, so many people start that conversation with, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? The obvious answer, and most used answer, is, well, I'd lay on the beach and sip margaritas. That sounds like an amazing vacation, right? Especially if you're in Massachusetts where it's currently 30 degrees and falling, and there's snow in the forecast this weekend, and you're stressed out by work, and there's so much traffic, and the kids have so much going on, and that pesky dog just will not behave for anything. I would love to sit and do nothing for a while, just recharge in the sun. But let's talk about vacation reality for a moment. Think back to your favorite vacation. Whether you remember a vacation from childhood or you're married with your own kids right now, even the best vacations go something like this. Mom, she's touching me! Where is Jennifer? What is taking her so long? How long does it take to get ready? You're going the wrong direction. That's not what the GPS says. If you just turn here, we'll save 15 minutes of driving. Are we there yet? I always hated vacations because of these things. I grew up with 3 siblings, so I could never deal with everyone all together in the car and then a small motel room, all with their own ideas and opinions about everything. No one was ever happy, and no one ever enjoyed the whole trip. Once I got older, I started doing my own vacations. I'd take 2 weeks off of work for Christmas vacation, which I still do, and I absolutely love it. I just needed a chance to breathe and enjoy doing nothing. It's always what I wanted to do every morning that I wake up, and I hated going to work. Starbucks is legitimately the only thing that will get me out of bed in the morning. So I thought I would thoroughly enjoy a 2-week break, right? I did thoroughly enjoy the first 2 or 3 days of the break. I did all the things that I didn't have time to do while working. I cleaned the house, I took a long bath, watched a movie, read a whole book, cooked a nice dinner. It was great. But by day 3, I started to run out of things to do, and sitting there at home wasn't as great as I thought it would be. I started thinking about other things that I could do. After I'd scrolled through everything on Instagram twice, I thought it would be nice if there was an account that was just for INFJs who are women. So I started one. Then I started thinking about how I wanted to write for so long, and I'd never had the time. So I sat down and started writing. And well, then I needed a website, and I spent my remaining vacation focused on setting up my website and building my business. So much for my vacation where I was doing nothing for 2 weeks, right? Everyone wants to have a ton of money because they want to lay on the beach. But how long can you actually do that before you get bored? A week, maybe? Possibly two? I only lasted about 3 days with my dream of doing nothing, but maybe you'd last a week. So once you get bored, what's beyond the beach? What would you do if you had all the money in the world and you spent a week on the beach, but then you got bored? What would you do then? Maybe the lazy, relaxed life is for you, and that's great if it is, but if it's not, what would you do? I don't do well being bored, as you can tell. I had 2 weeks and I started a business. I need to be busy most of the time, which is why I started my blog and my podcast, but I also have a whole other list of things that I want to do. Plus, like most INFJs, I have this drive to do something big and meaningful with my life. I want my time on this earth to mean something, even if it's just to one person. If I can just help one person, then all of my effort is worth it. When you're thinking about what you would do beyond the beach, here are a few things to consider. The first thing is that INFJs need to do something useful and helpful. We are most happy and satisfied when we're helping others. We need to know that we are valuable, that we can make the world a better place somehow. Whether that's volunteering at a homeless shelter or helping people understand themselves better through writing a blog or a book, that's up to you. Whatever you do, you'll feel most fulfilled in life if it helps someone else. The second thing is, you may not find the thing that you're looking for right away. It's not always a bolt of lightning that hits you. You don't always get a text message that says, "This is your purpose." Most of the time, it's more of a trial and error type of thing. It might take you years to find the thing that makes you feel happy and fulfilled. But don't get discouraged. Just keep looking and keep trying new things, and you'll for sure find it. The next thing is, you don't have to have just one purpose in your life. There could be multiple things that are your life's calling at different times in your life. You don't have to focus on only one thing forever. You can write for a few years and then decide to be an artist or to start a YouTube channel. Your purpose can evolve as you evolve as a person. The next thing is, writing is the most powerful tool that you can use to help you figure out everything. INFJs have a notorious difficult time organizing our thoughts. When we write them down, we're forced to organize them in a way that makes a lot more sense than when they're just floating around in our heads. That organization will give you some key answers that you've been looking for. If you haven't tried it yet, I really suggest that you give it a try. And the last thing is, support makes all of the difference. I used to think of myself as a loner. I really like being alone and doing things on my own. I've never been a group project type of person. But I've found over the years that having support from friends with similar goals makes a huge difference. I took a business class a few years ago, and they put us in small groups that were supposed to meet every week throughout the class. I figured that was one part of the class that I would skip, but I loved the class so much that I decided to give it a try. I ended up loving that part of the class. Our group had several people in it that were just as committed to building a business as I was, and it inspired me and pushed me to make it happen. Finding a support group of like-minded people who are working on a similar goal will go a long way to help you. In the last few weeks on this podcast, we've talked a lot about writing and how it can help you as an INFJ. There's actually 8 additional episodes to this season that you can get access to for free if you go to infjwoman.com/season5extras. And there's a link in the show notes. These episodes go even further into how writing can help you. They talk about how writing helps you understand yourself, organize your thoughts, and organize your life. solve your problems, work through the difficult things that have happened to you, and how writing can help you make goals for the future. Many INFJs end up wanting to write for a living or wishing they could. I did. I never thought that I could make a living from writing when I started my blog. I started it about 4 years ago now because I wanted to get some practice writing, but I had no idea it would become the thing that consumed all of my thoughts, plans, ideas, hopes, and dreams for the next 4 years, and then some. A lot of people ask me about the process of writing, and even more people have told me that it's their New Year's resolution, that, like me, they're starting a blog now in December or are planning to in January. So I decided to put together a free 5-day boot camp to talk about what I went through with starting my blog 4 years ago, share all of the good, the bad, and the ugly, and help you plan what you should be doing without making all of the mistakes that I did. We're going to talk about the technology to use, how to attract an audience, how to persevere through all of the things that feel like failure. And then we're also going to talk about how to monetize your blog. I'm going to share with you 8 different ways that I found how to make money with my blog. You can join this 5-day bootcamp by going to infjwoman.com/challenge. It's called Write for Your Life. All of the fun starts January 9, 2023. All right, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you again next week.